Israel was passing through a dark and uncertain time. King Saul, once chosen by God, had turned away from obedience, and this disobedience deeply grieved the heart of Samuel, the prophet. Samuel mourned for Saul. He wondered what the future of Israel would be. Then the Lord spoke to him gently. "Fill your horn with oil. I have chosen for myself a new king, one of Jesse's sons in Bethlehem." Samuel was afraid. "If Saul hears of this, he may kill me." But the Lord reassured him. "Take a heifer with you and say that you have come to offer a sacrifice." So Samuel set out for Bethlehem. When he arrived, the elders of the town trembled. Prophets did not come without reason. Samuel calmed them and said, "I come in peace." He invited Jesse and his sons to join him for the sacrifice. One by one, Jesse's sons stood before Samuel. The eldest, Eliab, was tall, strong, and confident. Samuel thought, "Surely this is the Lord's anointed." But the Lord spoke to Samuel's heart. "Do not look at his appearance or his height. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." One after another, the sons passed before him: Abinadab, Shammah, and 4 more. Each time the Lord said, "This is not the one." Confused, Samuel turned to Jesse and asked, "Are these all your sons?" Jesse hesitated. "There is still the youngest," he said, "but he is out in the fields, watching the sheep." Samuel replied firmly, "Send for him. We will not sit down until he comes." When David entered, everything changed. He was young, bright-eyed, full of life. And the Lord said, "Rise and anoint him. He is the one." Samuel poured the oil upon David's head, right there in front of his brothers. And from that moment, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon David. Samuel returned home. But Israel's story was only beginning. Meanwhile, King Saul's heart grew restless and troubled. Since he had turned away from God, peace left him. His servants noticed and said, "Let us find someone who can play the harp. When he plays, your spirit may find rest." They spoke of a young shepherd from Bethlehem, a skilled musician, a wise speaker, a man with God's favor. His name was David. Saul sent for him. David came bringing gifts from his father, and Saul loved him greatly. David became his armor-bearer. Whenever Saul was troubled, David would play the lyre, and the music brought peace. Quietly, humbly, the shepherd entered the king's court, not with a sword, not with a crown, but with a harp, and with God's hand upon him. Not long after, a new danger rose in Israel. The Philistines gathered for war. They camped on one hill. Israel camped on another. Between them lay the valley of Elah. From the Philistine side stepped forward a champion, Goliath of Gath. He was enormous, clothed in heavy bronze armor. His spear was like a weaver's beam. Every morning and every evening he shouted across the valley, "Choose a man to fight me. If he defeats me, we will serve you. But if I defeat him, you will serve us." Fear spread through Israel. Even King Saul was afraid. During this time, David traveled back and forth, from the fields of Bethlehem to the court of the king. One day, Jesse sent him with food for his 3 older brothers at the battlefield. As David arrived, Goliath stepped forward again. The soldiers fled in fear, but David stood still. He asked, "Why is everyone afraid? Who is this Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" Eliab heard him and became angry. "Why are you even here? Shouldn't you be with the sheep? You just want to watch the battle." But David replied gently, "I was only asking a question." Word about David's courage reached King Saul, who called him in. David said confidently, "Don't worry, I will fight this Philistine." Saul looked at him, young, small, not a soldier, and said, "You're just a boy. He has been fighting since he was young." But David explained something Saul didn't know. "When lions and bears came to attack my father's sheep, I chased them down. God protected me then, and he will protect me now." Moved by David's faith, Saul agreed and offered his own armor. David tried walking in it, but it was much too heavy. He smiled and said, "I can't wear this." It doesn't fit me. So David went out with what he knew, his shepherd's staff, his sling, and 5 smooth stones he picked up from a nearby stream. Goliath saw David approaching and burst out laughing. "Do you think I'm a dog that you come with sticks?" he roared. He cursed David and shouted, "Come here, and I will feed you to the birds." But David didn't flinch. He answered with calm courage, "You come with a sword and spear, but I come in the name of the Lord. Today God will deliver you into my hands, so all will know that he saves." As Goliath lumbered forward, David ran toward him. He placed a stone in his sling, swung it with skill learned from years in the fields, and let it fly. The stone sailed through the air and struck the giant right in the forehead. Goliath staggered, then fell with a mighty crash. The Philistine army gasped. The Israelites stared in amazement. And David, this young shepherd boy, had won the victory without a sword. The Israelites shouted with joy and chased the Philistines away, winning the battle completely. Later, David stood before King Saul holding Goliath's huge sword and said simply, "I am David, son of Jesse from Bethlehem." And little by little, the nation began to realize that God was raising someone very special, a shepherd with a brave heart, a young man with strong faith, and a future king who trusted God completely. When Samuel came to Jesse's house, David wasn't even invited. He was in the fields tending sheep. Many people live in that same place today, faithful, sincere, but unnoticed. Yet God sees what others overlook. Psalm 90:17 reminds us that God establishes the work of our hands, even when no one applauds. The field may feel small, but it is often where God prepares hearts for greater things. When David was anointed, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, but his situation didn't immediately change. He went back to the sheep. This teaches us a powerful truth. Anointing does not cancel waiting. God's promises are sure, but his timing shapes our character. As Habakkuk 2:3 says, "The vision may delay, but it will surely come." Goliath stood in the valley. Everyone saw the same giant, yet only David responded with faith. Why? Because David remembered what God had already done. He declared in 1 Samuel 17:37, "The Lord who delivered me before will deliver me again." Faith grows when we look back at God's faithfulness, not when we stare at our problems. When Saul offered his armor, David refused it. He chose not to fight wearing someone else's strength. Many people lose confidence trying to copy others, but David shows us that God works best through authenticity. Romans 12:6 reminds us that we are gifted differently, and victory comes when we walk in our own calling. David stepped forward with a sling, not because it was easy, but because he was prepared. Years of faithfulness met one decisive moment, and when the giant fell, David made it clear in 1 Samuel 17:47 that the battle belonged to the Lord. His victory restored courage to an entire nation. This speaks to anyone who feels small, delayed, or intimidated in life today. The God who saw David in the field sees you today. The God who honored his faithfulness still honors obedience. And the God who defeated the giant still declares, "Not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit." Zechariah 4:6. You may be in the fields today. You may be waiting after the anointing, or you may be standing before a giant. But remember, God has never lost a battle. If this message encouraged you, please like, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe for more faith-filled content.